Hey, what's good, guys? Today I'm going to go over some photography tips to help you better your photography. And these are easy steps you could implement right now in your photography. We'll call this the 5-minute photography lesson. Okay, guys? Wedding photography, portraits, whatever. Okay, here you see a picture of a bride. I'm taking this with a 24-70 auto white balance eye level. Now look at what happens when you switch the lens, switch your white balance setting, and lower your level. Portrait lens, around 70 millimeters, 7200 I'm using. I adjusted the white balance to 6500 Kelvin, and I lowered the level of where I'm shooting. I went down just a little bit. Look at the difference you get by these just simple little adjustments you can make with your photography. Let's crop in here. As you could see, it's clear, it's clean, and the image is awesome. No editing whatsoever in this image. This is straight out of the camera. You don't need to do anything. Here it is again, guys. 24-70 auto white balance eye level. Just a nice shot, still basic, but here's side by side. As you can tell, by switching your lens and adjusting your white balance on the fly while you shoot, you can have a beautiful image. And while you're down there, take a few different looks, change the look a little bit. Now she's looking down at her bouquet. There you can have just a couple of looks while you're down there shooting. So yeah, and then zoom into 200 millimeters, guys, and have fun with your subject. Look at the subject isolation here, guys. Zoom in at 200 millimeters and have fun with your bride or your portraits. All right, the next thing I want to go over is relaxed portraits and hands. Pay attention to this. Here, it's a good shot, but they're a little stiff. I adjusted a few things. I put the groom's hand in his pocket, and I made it relax just a little bit. So let's take a look at it again. A good portrait, but a little stiff. Look at where the hands go with the groom, and look at the bride. She's a little more relaxed. Next thing up is use surroundings as your props and be creative. I saw a circular little, cool little scene, and there you go. All right, guys, am I using a 7200 lens with a DSLR? Oh no, it's not a Plena. This cannot work, right, guys? Wrong. Using natural backlight to your advantage. Position the subject in front of you, the light behind you, and just have that sunlight rim the hair. And you see a beautiful glow in the patterns. Here's 70 millimeters. I zoom into 200 here with the 7200, and look at that background blur. Look at that subject isolation with the rim light. Let's zoom in here. Just look at that sharpness using a DSLR and 70-200. No problems whatsoever. Okay, guys? Never be afraid of harsh light. Here I'm using this to my advantage, but I'm having the couple look towards the light because if they were looking at me, this wouldn't work. Dream effect. You can pretty much capture this effect on your own with the 200 millimeter 70-200, just depending on where the backlight is coming from. Direction of sun and subject. Very important. You won't get this effect if she was not looking towards the sun and the subject. So direction of the sun and where the subject is looking. If she was looking at me, totally different picture. Using sun flare. Use what's around you, okay, guys? Be careful when you use sun flare because this can get into, you can ruin an image. So pay attention where the flare is coming from. Here I have the sun behind the statue, and it's really working to my advantage. Look at the rim light on her face. It's beautiful. Repeat patterns for beautiful bokeh, dimension, and backdrop. Now this shot was at 70 millimeters with the 70-200. Great, but watch what happens when I zoom into 200 millimeters, have them look at me, look at the pattern, look at the backdrop, look how much this changes, and pay attention to the hands. Look at that repeat pattern in the backdrop, guys, and just look at this beautiful, beautiful portrait. I love the repeat patterns in the backdrop. This is how you could use bokeh to your advantage. Just look at that quick little story. This is Peter, the groom, good friend of mine. He's now, he bought a Z6 too because he was watching my videos. I told him I'm on YouTube, and now he's all into Nikon, watching my videos, and he's a big fan of the channel. So shout out to Peter and Ilbert here, one of my favorite couples that I photographed. You're a rock, Peter. But just look at that background blur, guys. This has been the 5-minute photography lesson by VAHAGRAPHY. That's me, Vahagan. If you like more of this, leave me a comment down below. I can make more of these videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and rock and roll.